Hey there, let's talk about something we all care about, cheap stuff, specifically the cheap stuff at Costco. Because guess what? It's not so cheap anymore. That's right, folks, Costco is raising prices. We're talking about noticeable increases on some of our favorite bulk buy items. Remember those days of loading up your cart with giant tubs of mayonnaise and feeling like a savvy shopper? Well, those days might be over. Why are prices soaring? Is this a Costco-specific issue, or is it part of a bigger, scarier trend? And most importantly, what does it mean for our wallets? Buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to break it all down. Let's start with the obvious. Grocery prices are going up everywhere. It's not just you, and it's not just Costco. Walk into any supermarket and you'll see the evidence staring you right in the face. That gallon of milk that used to be $2.50, try $3.50. Those bananas you like? They're practically worth their weight in gold. We're living in a time of rampant inflation, and food prices are feeling the heat. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the cost of food at home increased by over 13% from August 2021 to August 2023. But wait, there's more. It's not just the everyday essentials that are getting pricier. Remember those little luxuries we used to treat ourselves to? The fancy cheese, the imported olive oil, the occasional bottle of wine that's not from the bottom shelf. Yeah, those are getting hit hard too. Okay, so grocery prices are going up, but why? What's the deal? Well, my friends, it's complicated. But like a lot of things these days, it all boils down to one big, hairy word: pandemic. Remember those early days of COVID-19 when the world shut down and we all thought we were going to be baking sourdough bread and learning TikTok dances forever? Yeah, good times. But those lockdowns and supply chain disruptions had a ripple effect that we're still feeling today. Suddenly, there were shortages of everything from toilet paper to computer chips. Factories closed, workers got sick, and transportation costs skyrocketed. It was a perfect storm of economic chaos, and the grocery industry got caught right in the middle of it. The pandemic also led to increased demand for certain products like cleaning supplies and shelf-stable foods. This surge in demand, coupled with limited supply, drove prices up even further. To make matters worse, the war in Ukraine has also had a significant impact on global food prices. Now let's talk specifically about Costco. We know that grocery prices are up everywhere, but why are we seeing such noticeable increases at our beloved warehouse club? Isn't Costco supposed to be the land of bulk bargains? What's going on? Well, the truth is that Costco, like every other business, is trying to stay afloat in a sea of economic uncertainty. They're facing the same challenges as everyone else: rising costs for raw materials, transportation, and labor. And at a certain point, something's got to give. Costco has always been known for its low prices, which are made possible by its membership model and high sales volume. They make their money by selling a lot of stuff at a small markup rather than selling a few things at a high markup. But when the cost of goods goes up, that small markup doesn't go as far. So, in order to maintain their profit margins, Costco has to raise prices. Of course, it's not quite that simple. Costco is also facing pressure from investors to maintain its profitability. So, while we might not like it, Costco's price hikes are a reflection of the challenging economic environment we're living in. Rotisserie Chicken Blues, a case study in Costco price hikes. All right, let's get specific. We've talked about the general trend of grocery price increases, but what about those iconic Costco items we all know and love? Take, for instance, the legendary Costco rotisserie chicken. This bird, a symbol of Costco's commitment to value, has long been a fan favorite, a hot and juicy bargain at just $4.99. But alas, those days are gone. In recent months, the price of a Costco rotisserie chicken has crept up to $5.99 in some locations. That's a full dollar increase, folks. And while a dollar might not seem like a lot, it represents a 20% price hike. Now, some might argue that $5.99 is still a great price for a whole cooked chicken. And they'd be right. But it's the principle of the matter, isn't it? Beyond the bird, what else is Costco jacking up? Unfortunately, the rotisserie chicken isn't the only victim of Costco's price hikes. Oh no, my friends, it's happening across the board. From pantry staples to household essentials, those big, beautiful bulk packages are starting to feel the pinch. Let's start with the basics. Remember when a giant tub of Kirkland's signature mayonnaise was a steal at under $10? Well, those days are long gone. That same tub will now set you back closer to $12 and in some cases even more. And don't even get me started on olive oil. Those massive tins of extra virgin goodness have seen some of the steepest price increases, with some varieties jumping by as much as 50%. Paper products, cleaning supplies, personal care items, you name it, it's probably more expensive at Costco than it was a year ago. Those giant bags of frozen fruit, vegetables, and ready-made meals have also seen significant price hikes. The people speak, consumers react to Costco's price hikes. So how are people reacting to all of this? Well, let's just say they're not exactly thrilled. Social media is ablaze with complaints from disgruntled Costco members, lamenting the loss of their beloved bargains. Scroll through the comments section of any Costco-related post, and you'll find a chorus of frustrated shoppers. I used to be able to do my entire month's grocery shopping at Costco for $200, now it's closer to $300, one commenter bemoans. I'm starting to think a Costco membership isn't even worth it anymore, another gripes. And it's not just the price hikes themselves that are frustrating shoppers. It's the feeling that Costco is betraying its core values. People joined Costco because they believed in the promise of high-quality products at unbeatable prices. Now that promise feels broken. The bottom line, profits over people? So where does this leave us? Costco, a company that built its reputation on low prices and customer loyalty, is facing a dilemma. They're caught between a rock and a hard place, trying to balance the needs of their business with the expectations of their members. On the one hand, they have a responsibility to their shareholders to remain profitable. On the other hand, they risk alienating their loyal customer base by raising prices too high. It's a delicate balancing act, and it's one that's becoming increasingly difficult to maintain. The question is, are they prioritizing profits over people? Navigating the price hike, tips for Costco shoppers. So what can you do? Well, you could always join the chorus of disgruntled shoppers on social media, or you could grab your pitchfork and head to your nearest Costco. But let's be honest, neither of those options is particularly productive. Instead, let's focus on what you can control, your own shopping habits. Here are a few tips for navigating the Costco price hikes and keeping your grocery budget in check. Shop strategically. Make a list before you go and stick to it. Avoid impulse purchases, no matter how tempting those giant tubs of Nutella might be. Compare prices. Don't assume that Costco always has the best prices. Check unit prices carefully and compare them to other stores. You might be surprised at what you find. Buy in bulk wisely. Only buy in bulk if you know you'll use it all before it expires. There's no point in saving a few cents per unit if you end up throwing half of it away. Consider alternatives. Don't be afraid to branch out and try other stores. Walmart, Target, and even your local grocery store might have better deals on certain items. The bigger picture: food inflation and the American family. Costco's price hikes are just one small piece of a much larger puzzle. We're living in a time of rising inflation, and it's affecting every aspect of our lives, from the price of gas to the cost of rent. But perhaps nowhere is the impact of inflation felt more acutely than at the grocery store. For many American families, putting food on the table is becoming increasingly difficult. Food insecurity is on the rise, and more people are struggling to make ends meet. According to Feeding America, more than 34 million people in the United States, including 9 million children, are food insecure. The rising cost of groceries is putting a tremendous strain on families, particularly those living paycheck to paycheck. Many are forced to make difficult choices, such as cutting back on healthy foods, skipping meals, or going into debt to feed their families. Addressing this issue will require a multifaceted approach, including government policies to support struggling families, investments in food banks and other food assistance programs, and efforts to address the root causes of inflation. The final bite. Can we fix this? Can we fix this? Can we rein in inflation, bring down food prices, and make it easier for families to put food on the table? It's a daunting challenge, but it's not insurmountable. It will require a collective effort from policymakers, businesses, and individuals. We need to address the root causes of inflation, invest in solutions that support struggling families, and make smart choices about how we spend our money. In the meantime, we can all do our part to navigate this challenging economic environment. By shopping strategically, being mindful of our spending, and supporting organizations that are working to combat food insecurity, we can weather this storm and emerge stronger on the other side. Remember, we're all in this together. Let's support one another, advocate for change, and work towards a future where everyone has access to affordable, nutritious food.